Biden administration is expected to pause federal student loan payments until September, according to sources familiar with White House decision-making. The payments frozen for nearly a year were scheduled to resume May 1st, but the White House plans to push that deadline back after calls from congressional Democrats. Borrowers will not be asked to make payments on student loans until after August 31st, and interest will remain at 0%. The moratorium has allowed millions of Americans to delay payments during the coronavirus pandemic, and it's estimated some 43 million Americans owe about $1.6 trillion of student loan debt. A series of storms left a swath of damage across southern United States. Roads in parts of Mississippi were left underwater after heavy rains led to flooding. Dozens of streets in Hattiesburg flooded as a result of Tuesday's heavy rainstorm. City workers were out in force clearing debris and leaves from the culverts to allow the rainwater to flow. Officials in Elmore County, Alabama say one or possibly two tornadoes left an 11-mile trail of damage on Tuesday, including downed trees and power lines. And in Texas, high winds ripped the roofs off some homes. Well, today the U.S. and allies are set to impose new toughened sanctions against Russia in retaliation for its war crimes in Ukraine. This comes in the wake of Ukrainian President Zelensky's passionate speech to the UN Security Council describing in graphic detail brutal mass killings and calling on global leaders to hold Russia and Putin accountable. NBC's Bree Jackson has more.
From mass graves to a graveyard of Russian tanks, Ukraine's president says scenes like this are among conclusive evidence Russian forces have committed war crimes.
They killed entire families, adults and children, and they tried to burn the bodies.
President Volodymyr Zelensky scolding the United Nations Security Council for not doing more to end the violence.
What is the purpose of our organization? Its purpose is to maintain peace.
U.S. officials agree world leaders must step up.
To show some backbone and stand up to Russia's dangerous and unprovoked threat against Ukraine and the world.
The White House plans to announce new sanctions against Russia aimed at inflicting more economic harm. The package would ban all new investments in Russia and target Russian banks and state-owned enterprises. The administration vowing to hold Russia accountable.
For those who committed these acts, for those who ordered them.
Secretary of State Blinken attends the NATO foreign ministers meeting in Brussels this week, as NATO leaders insist they stand ready to help Ukraine.
And this is the most serious security challenge we have faced since the Second World War.
U.S. defense leaders warn this conflict could go on for years. President Biden pledging another $100 million in military aid for Ukraine to use for Javelin anti-tank missiles. In Washington, Bree Jackson for NBC News.